Check it out, here's our van rental. We just left Paia town and we're 1 mile away from Paia at the Hukipa lookout. Usually there's surfers out on the waves here. I don't know if it's too rough or just not the right conditions, but we don't see anyone out there yet today. And this is a really cool stop because if you go to this lower part right down here is where the turtles will come up, especially in the evening, and they stay there for the night. So we've seen loads of turtles come up, and there's lots of people down there, so maybe there are some there right now too. Just after the 2 mile marker, we saw this big parking lot and the food truck, which was the marker for the beginning of the Twin Falls Trail. I had read lots about it as a place where locals and tourists go to swim underneath the lower falls, and I'm not sure if we just didn't find the right directions or if because of the rainfall it just looked a little bit different than described, but we didn't really see an area that looked too appealing to go swimming. But we just had a nice view of the falls and then decided to head back. It was only about a 10 or 15 minute hike. The next stop was at Waikamoe Falls. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, probably not. But again, we aren't really sure we saw the main attraction of this hike. It was a loop and we started off going left because it said it was a shorter hike, and then when we got along the top it pointed up to a picnic area and we hiked part of the way up. It didn't really seem to change the views and it was kind of muddy and ugly and some trees had fallen over the path, so we decided to just go back and continue on the loop, and we ended up coming out at the same spot where it said if we would have gone to the right it said longer route. So I'm not really sure how that worked, but anyways, we did get some good viewpoints. The road to Hana is a 64-mile long stretch of highway that connects Ka'alui to the town of Hana on East Maui. It is a highway with snake-like roads lined with waterfalls, slopes, and coastlines, and some serious hairpin turns. There are 54 one-lane bridges on this highway, marking nearly as many waterfalls, and as there had been lots of recent rainfall, the waterfalls were flowing beautifully during our drive. This is one of my favorite stops along the road to Hana because it has these beautiful rainbow eucalyptus trees. It's at about mile marker 16.5 and there's just a small sign for it and a little parking area just past the bridge, and you just have to walk back to it. It's a really short hike, but it's so worth it to see all these cool rainbow eucalyptus trees. It was about 5 o'clock when we rolled into the Kioni YMCA campground. It had started to rain, so we spent most of the evening inside the van, eating the food that we had picked up in Paia, and just playing cards and hanging out. The next morning, we were excited to see the sun shining and ready to get back on the road. We didn't make it far, less than a mile, before we were turning off onto the Keane Peninsula. Here, we took in the views of the waves crashing over the rocks before setting out to find some much anticipated breakfast. Although there's numerous places to stop along the road to Hana to have some banana bread, we had heard a lot about Auntie Sandy's and it was delicious. We stopped half a mile past the 19-mile marker at Three Bears Falls. There is an opportunity to climb down and swim in the pools, but again, it was a little too chilly for us that day. This is from a little state wayside park that's just half a mile past the 22-mile marker. There's a picnic area for the upper falls, and here's a view of the lower falls. Waterfall just beyond mile marker 25 offers a rare chance to experience a waterfall from the top. You can park your car just beyond the bridge and walk back, making sure to look down at the cascading waterfall that's plunging right below you. At mile marker 27.5, you have to stop at Coconut Glens. It's famous for its ice cream made with coconut milk rather than cream or milk, so it's 100% vegan. We had the coconut flavor and the lilikoi, and it was amazing. I guess we had dessert first because our next stop was for lunch at the Nihikyu Market. We tried the pork ribs at this Up in Smoke restaurant and also some fish tacos from the taco stand. Because we knew it was supposed to rain the next day, we changed our plans a little and drove right past our camping spot for the night at Wayanapa Park. We continued on just a few more miles until we arrived at Hana, stopping for gas and then continuing on the 10 miles to Haleakala National Park. Here, we hiked the Pipaway Trail. The trail is a 4-mile loop taking us under banyan trees, many waterfalls, and even through a bamboo forest. Just beyond the bamboo forest is the Waimaku Waterfall, this beautiful waterfall dropping 400 feet down the sheer rock face. After our hike, we crossed back over the highway and hiked along the Ohio Gulch, or 7 sacred pools, finally a place where we could go in the water. After that, we headed to our campsite. We were so lucky to avoid the rain the entire day, but when we arrived at our campsite it started raining, so we had another quiet night inside the van, but we did check out the views of the black sand beach. It rained all through the night and even into the next morning, so when we were packing up we walked down to the beach just to say we were there before heading out for the day.
Got a little rain here on our day. Pretty whatever, it is what it is. Crazy.
We could tell that the day was going to be a pretty much full day of rain, so we just headed back down the mountain on our 3rd day on the road to Hana. It was amazing to see the water flowing, and the waterfalls we had seen yesterday had already changed so much from the rain overnight. We were lucky that we made it down without any problems, as the last time we did the road to Hana, it had started to rain and we got stopped because there was a tree on the road. we decided we couldn't go the whole day without any stops along the road to Hana, so we stopped at this last lookout, and because there was so much water flowing, we actually could see quite a few waterfalls across the valley. It was a great end to what ended up being an awesome camping trip and a lot of beautiful sights along the road to Hana. Thanks for watching another video, and stay tuned for more.